A narcissist has to keep you in the dark dungeons of their control. They have to keep you in an absolute state of powerlessness and worthlessness to feel better about themselves. It is their heart's desire to always see you suffering the way they left you, to reinforce their delusional belief of omnipotence. But when you rise from your ashes like a phoenix does and become the opposite of who they want you to be, it breaks their heart. There are certain things that you can do, things that you can change in yourself, in your thinking, in your feelings, to prove them wrong and show them that you do not belong to the darkness they left you in. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional, and in this episode, I'll share 5 ways to break a narcissist's heart and to prove them wrong. If that is what you would like to know more about, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel by pressing the subscribe button and push the bell icon to stay updated. Also, if you're listening to this episode on a podcast channel, make sure to subscribe and follow as well. Let's get started. Number 1, change the way you see yourself. A narcissist wants you to feel not good enough. They will criticize and degrade you by saying you are too fat, thin, too open, too closed, and too this and to that. They will try to make you feel you are not attractive enough for them, or that no one else will ever love you the way you are. They instill this chronic sense of self-doubt in you to make it impossible for you to leave. This is all a ploy to keep you around. As a counteraction to their false programming, this is what you gotta do. You have to radically accept yourself as you are, with everything you have, to feel valuable and confident. You have to be compassionate and considerate towards yourself to make it difficult for others to govern your emotional state. You have to trust your intuition, connect with your worthiness as a human being so that no one can deter you from believing in yourself. You have to heal. You have to undo all of the programming that was put in your head by your parents. You have to find your value in yourself so that no one can decide what your value is depending on how they see you or perceive you. You have to become one with yourself. You have to be the parent that you never had as a child. You have to give that love to yourself that you want others to give to you. You have to become confident enough in yourself. You have to know yourself enough for others not to tell you who you are or define you as a human being. Number 2, develop thick skin. If a narcissist has targeted you or is trying to draw you into a relationship, they will likely do everything they can to get you. This can involve flattering and saying all the right things to reel you in, or on the flip side, putting you down and making you feel bad about yourself, so you seek their approval, so that you beg them for their acceptance. You would do everything to avoid feeling abandoned. That is where you have to work, the abandonment wound. You have to work on these people-pleasing patterns so that no one can come around and intentionally or unintentionally trigger them, and you get stuck in this loop of proving yourself worthy again. The best thing you can do is develop thick skin. Stay true to yourself and stand your ground. If you let their insults bother you and their words get to you, you will only be playing into their hands. You have to understand that a narcissist's projections are confessions. Every flaw, every bad thing they point in you is basically their own personality that they are projecting on you. They don't want to accept all of this about themselves, but it still is within them. It would not go anywhere. Just because they are not willing to accept their truth does not mean that it will become untrue. It will still remain in their unconscious, and they would have to deal with it, and as a way to cope with it, they project it on you, make it your truth, so that they can fabricate their reality and create it out of falsehood. They project everything on you that they are themselves. So you have to understand that you need to deflect every single thing, every single bad thing that comes to you, and not take it personally. The most important thing you can do is that you have to work on your self-worth. if your self-worth is high, if your self-concept is solid, if your self-esteem is strong, no one can come in and tell you who you are or point out these flaws and then make you feel insecure. So you have to work on these insecurities as well and really become solid in who you truly are and what you stand for. Number 3, stay calm and hold your ground when they try to upset you. Narcissists require supply, positive or negative, from others to feel complete. They want you to feel anger, distress, or contrition so that they can feel in control of you and your emotions. It does not matter what kind of reaction you give them, positive or negative, and if you are lashing out, crying, or apologizing, or being happy with them, giving them attention, buying them gifts, taking them out, doing this, that, and the other, it does not matter. As long as you react, they win. And that is what you have to work on. Managing your emotions around a narcissist is extremely important because your reaction is what drives them. As long as they can get reaction from you, they would keep getting supply from you and they would keep abusing and torturing you. The best way to drive them crazy is to be in control of your emotions and not react. And how you can do that is you have to become intentional in how you experience your emotions and feelings. You have to deliberately practice to observe your emotions and not act on the impulses. As long as you can do that, you would have the upper hand in the game and the narcissist would not be able to make you tiptoe around them. As long as you know what you're feeling, the narcissist would not be able to decide what you should feel. Keep it as neutral as possible. Number 4, the blame lies with them. Narcissists will try to blame you for everything, but you are not at fault. Nothing you could ever do would justify their destructive behavior. In other words, you did not cause this to yourself. On the surface level, you might think that, well, I should have seen it coming, or I should have left earlier, or I should have believed them when they showed their darkest side. But it's not easy. When you are in the trenches of it, when you are in the fog, you do not have the clarity. You do not have the sources that you have now. You do not have the space that you have now to think about these things. Most importantly, you do not have the knowledge that you have now to differentiate between truth and untruth. You are able to say these things because now you are capable of doing things. You have done something already and now you say you should have done that. But when it's happening to you, you do not know what is going on. As human beings, we try to hold on to hope, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, especially when it comes to people that we love the most. For example, our parents. We want to hold on to this facade, to this fantasy about this person so that we do not have to face the pain. All in all, I would say you tried your best. You did what you could at that moment. So blaming yourself now is not a fruitful thing to do. It is not something that would help you in your recovery because they chose to insult, lie, and deceive you to gain power. When you begin to doubt yourself, remind yourself that you are not to blame. You have to be extremely compassionate towards yourself. They projected every flaw they had onto you. The way they see you is who they are, as I explained earlier. Tell yourself things like, I tried everything I could to make our relationship amazing. I can't control the behavior of others and I am not who they define me as. Number 5 and the last one, set strong boundaries and stick to them. If you do not have strong boundaries, you are going to be one of the easiest targets for the narcissist because a narcissist wants someone who would let them walk all over them. They want to be with a supply who can't say no. They want to be with someone who just lets the narcissist decide everything for this person because that gives them absolute control. So when you are in a situation where you can't go no contact and have to deal with them regularly, maybe you're co-parenting, maybe you are going through a court case or something else, it's your parent. It is important to set firm, rigid, and unbreachable boundaries. You can't leave a gray area for the narcissist to kind of guess, maybe this is the crack that I can seep in through. Maybe it's not that rigid, or I still have some room to exploit him or her. You have to be black and white. You have to be all or nothing. It can't be, yeah, you can visit sometimes, but most of the times you can't. You have to be, no, you can't. This is it. You can't enter my premises. You can't enter my house. You can't visit me at this time, or you can't do this. or you can only do this. You have to work in absolutes here. That is the only language they understand. They will try to manipulate you into doing things as per their wishes. They may also try to control different aspects of your life, like who you interact with, what you do in your spare time, or how you connect with your children. Set boundaries and make your needs known. When you set boundaries, you have to be very calculated. You have to be very strategic. Also, on the side lines, you have to support your boundaries using a third party support system. For example, getting the co-parenting agreement passed through the court, and if they violate any of the terms, they would be penalized. You have to corner the beast. You need to know that you can't just say that this is your boundary and then expect them to obey it. You have to set the consequences for them to see your boundary and to know that they can't breach it, they can't break it. It's unbreakable. You have to be very, very assertive and very confident while setting boundaries. That was it for today. I truly hope that you found this episode helpful and you understood how to shatter the narcissist's fantasy of control and truly break their heart. I'll talk with you in the next one. Till then, let the healing begin.